this is not sake. Oh, but this is a frog. Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko. For those who don't know me, I am a Japanese living in Japan who's a huge Trump supporter, and today let me get started with this random question for you guys, which is, do you like North Korea? Or can you at least try to respect the nation? Because I can't. And as you know, there are lots of domestic problems over there in North Korea, such as on human rights and poverty and so on, which maybe I shouldn't interfere. But coming from Japan especially, I can't ignore the fact that they are a terrorist nation. You heard me, they are a terrorist nation. And why do we Japanese call them so? That is not only because of their missiles coming into our territories, but also it is strongly because of the abduction of the Japanese citizens by them. Abduction by North Korea is not only an issue of Japan, and it matters so much for the world, so please stick till the end of this video. So some of you might be already sick of me explaining this abduction issue, but let me summarize it for you briefly because there might be some new people that are not familiar with abduction issues. So North Korea started to abduct Japanese citizens living inside of Japan in the 70s, and the Japanese government has currently identified 17 Japanese citizens abducted by North Korea. And fast forward to September 2002, North Korea acknowledged that the Japanese citizens had been abducted, and 5 abductees returned to Japan from North Korea in October of that year. In addition to the abductees already identified by the Japanese government, there are missing person cases involving who might have been abducted by North Korea. So the Japanese National Police Agency claims that there are 883 suspect Japanese abduction cases by North Korea. Also, countries other than Japan are actually dealing with possible abduction cases by North Korea, such as Thailand, Romania, and Lebanon, and so forth. So for more details, please check out the link below. English source is available, including anime. So that was a summary of the abduction problem, and I hope that you get the idea. But in terms of the US, like, you guys had to face the atrocity by North Korea as it was done onto a young college student named Otto Warmbier. Honestly, I want Otto to rest in peace, and I hate to dig it up, but I just don't want the world to forget about his case because it matters so much for the rest of the world as well. You know, some people might accuse him for visiting North Korea to begin with, but that's not the point. You know, the point is that what North Korea did onto an American citizen, meaning America, what is done onto your citizens such as Otto equals to whatever violation is done to your country. So now let me tell you something that might be new to you. You know, many people in the West might still believe that Otto tried to steal a political slogan sign or whatsoever, but I'm 90% convinced that it's a made-up claim. It's made up by North Korea. Like, it's natural to think that he was forced to say at the conference that he stole something, which he didn't. You know, his tears don't mean what people think they do, in my opinion. The reliable source coming from South Korea, which is actually a group for abduction by North Korea because South Korean people are abducted as well, but they are pointing out what Otto's crime was. So the head of the South Korean group announced that Otto only wrapped his shoes with newspapers that he found at the hotel while preparing to leave the country. And you might wonder, what's wrong with wrapping his shoes with newspaper there? Well, the newspaper was the problem. The newspaper was the official one of North Korea, like the party. So it had the picture of Kim Jong-un. So basically, Otto got accused for putting the dirt of his shoes onto the face of Kim Jong-un. So I don't know if you know this information, but according to the media here, it seems that somebody that recently visited Pyongyang brought such information to the South Korean group, and that's how we know it. And I don't know if you are going to believe it or not, but at least what I can tell you is that the Japanese media and South Korean media, they are reporting this information as something solid. And some people might argue that even if it's a shoe situation, Otto's case was still a crime in North Korea, but if it really was, I don't think that North Korea had to lie about it. Like, you know, North Korea, they lie to you all the time. Like, remember, for example, they said that Otto was poisoned. But was he? There were no signs of poisoning according to the reliable American doctors. North Korea lied about Otto's condition just like they do with Japanese abductees who North Korea claim as dead. As pointed out in the article, North Korea has even sent us a box of bones saying that it's the remains of one of our abductees. But it was like a mixture of animal and some other person. Like, we Japanese know that our people are alive in North Korea through the testimonies of those who escaped or returned from North Korea and so forth. But the country, North Korea, just keeps lying to us. So how could anybody believe what North Korea says? Because they are a liar. If you don't take the proper steps to solve the problem of Otto's case, it'll be a sign for North Korea that they can abduct American citizens. And the problem with Japan was that we didn't handle, like, I wasn't even born, but like, we didn't handle the abduction cases wisely in the first place, and more innocent people became their abduction victims. And I hear that there are 3 or 4 Americans that are still caught in North Korea. There could be more, maybe. I don't know, like, enlighten me please, because I'm not familiar. But yeah, let me know what you think about those who are still caught in North Korea. And don't forget that North Korea is developing weapons to attack America, and support is mainly coming from China. Oh my gosh, China. Speaking of China, they are invalidly keeping hostages as well. Like, they just capture whoever they don't like for invalid reasons. One of the hot topics regarding that is that they are killing the Nobel Prize winner, the Chinese guy. They are killing him. Also, I wish that President Trump will be more direct with China. Like, I see him using sarcasm and indirect threats that are very American to China, and I don't think that that's gonna work with China. You know, especially because this is politics that he's dealing with, not business. Like, in politics, sometimes, yes, you can work it out that way, I guess. Especially if you become like evil mates and make a deal, but don't make a deal with demons. Just show your freaking power. That's the only language that they understand that you have in common. And showing power, man, I have to admit that my country, Japan, is not doing a good job on that at all. And I can already sense the irritation coming from President Trump because our system doesn't seem to change anytime soon. Like, he's expecting us to be strong and cooperate, but we're taking too much time. Our system is just so much different from the US, you know, like, we're not flexible at all. Like, we stick to procedures too much, and there are too many rules. And one of the big things that Americans often complain to us is that we don't put budget to a new project that's just decided, or the new law that just passed. Maybe you have no idea what I'm trying to say, but if you watch the movie from last year titled Shin Godzilla, maybe you will understand what I'm trying to say here. So stupid. All of these stupid systems and rules have to be changed. Anyway, back on the issue of North Korea. So as you may know, Japan is already easily within the reach of North Korean weapons like missiles. And do you realize though that Japan has multiple US military bases? So it's not really only a matter of us, and no wonder why North Korea keeps saying that they're gonna destroy both Japan and the US. But now let me talk about the footage that I showed in the very beginning of this video. So the other day I went to participate in the march held in Fukuoka City, and it was on the abduction issue. We hold this event every year because we haven't been able to rescue the abductees. But there's this other one that's held every month to collect signatures in entire Japan to rescue our people. But this annual one is a big deal for us. North Korean abduction problem, there are lots of victims from lots of different nations in this world, so we can work together to rescue our own people. Again, the violation against our people or the violation against our nation, and it's something that we shouldn't leave out, and we need to solve this. And these are my random thoughts for today. So let me know what you think about what I've talked about today. If you want more of these videos, please like and share this video and subscribe to this channel, Random Yoko 2. Oh, by the way, I am very active on Twitter now, so please follow me at Random Yoko there. And most importantly, if you can, please check out my Patreon page and support me there if you can. And if you're not into Patreon, I totally understand. Thank you just for watching. It means a lot to me that you guys are there and watch my videos. So the way I output my opinion or information that I have, it might come in different ways, like this type of videos or pictures or other kinds of videos. Recently I started to test things out, and I'll try to be better at whatever the heck I'm doing here. But anyway, again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please take care, and I will talk to you later. Bye!